The queen led me out past the guests and over to the edge of the large balcony where several chairs and a table were vacant, but I chose to lean on the railing and look out over the massive and stunning city sparkling in lights. I took a long deep breath. What a day! Are you okay, dear? The queen softly patted my back. Just breathe. I can't do this, I admitted. I can't be a queen. I'm not good enough for your sons. They're so perfect. The queen surprised me by laughing, and I looked up at her in confusion. My dear, I promise you that my sons are far from perfect, she told me, and as for being good enough, the goddess herself picked you to be queen. You will do just fine. Do you really think so? I do. She smiled at me, and I felt a little lighter. And besides, I am looking forward to my retirement, so I can spend all my time with Theo and our Lycans, so even if you're terrible, the job's all yours, no take-backs. I laughed in shock. This was not the queen that Luna Morgan had described to me over the years. She told me the queen was stern and cold, but maybe she was just that way to Luna Morgan. There now, she said softly and brushed my hair back over my shoulder. Things aren't so bad now, are they, my dear? When I met Theo, I was a warrior from a small pack. I knew nothing about ruling or taking care of a mate, but I learned, and so will you, and I know my boys will help you. But what about Scott and Alpha Troy? I asked nervously as I looked back towards the party. I noticed a few pack members sneaking peeks at us, and I blushed before turning away again. Don't worry about those damn dogs, Queen Kara said dismissively. They will be dealt with. How dare they keep you as a maid and lie to you about being a Lycan? That alone should give Theo justification to destroy them, but now that he knows your eyeless little girl, I promise you he'll be out for blood. Did you know my mother? The queen looked uncomfortable, which confused me. I only met her once during the war, but I never really knew her. She answered and my heart sank. You will have to speak with Theo about her. Does King Theo know who my father is? I asked. Do you? She shook her head and patted my back again. I don't, I'm sorry, she told me. And seeing as you didn't know she was dead, you probably don't know who killed her either. I am afraid not, she answered. We all thought she was alive but missing. I see. I pouted sadly. Do you have any pictures of her that I can help you with? She smiled and took my hand. Come with me. Together we weaved through the party again, and then into a private elevator which took us to a library where a few librarians were working and chatting quietly. They greeted the queen and looked at me with confusion as she led me towards a large section filled with books on the royal family. Here we are, she said happily as she pulled out a large book and opened it. I watched eagerly as she flipped through the books before stopping at an image of a royal family picture. Madelyn, dear, this is your mother, she told me, and pushed the book towards my trembling hands. Well, that is, if she was your mother, but the chances of someone else having that ring and giving it to you are pretty slim, so if I was betting on it, I'd say she was your mother. I looked down at the image before me while I reminded myself to breathe. I'd dreamed about this moment my entire life, wondering what my parents looked like, but then I'd scream at myself and remind myself that they abandoned me, but it was different now. She'd wanted me, she loved me. The image was of 3 men. One I assumed was the king and my mate's grandfather and 2 younger boys around my age. One I recognized as King Theo, but the other man I had never seen before, and 2 women, a very beautiful brunette queen with eyes that matched my mate's, and a young blonde woman who I couldn't take me off of. She resembled me. We were the same height and had the same long blonde hair and pale complexion, only I had a few light freckles from working outside. The only real difference between us was our eyes. Hers were dark brown while mine were a soft grayish-blue which, I assumed now, came from my father. I ran my fingers along the page and frowned in confusion when a drop of water fell on it, splashing softly. It wasn't until the queen held up a tissue and I realized I was crying, and the water drop had come from me. Thank you. I sniffed and wiped my face. She was very pretty. Just like her daughter. The queen touched my arm in comfort. How come the twins didn't know about her? We thought it was best not to bring her up. The queen commented. She was missing and we didn't want them to worry as they grew up. Worry about what? My dear, it's best to discuss this with Theo in private. I was very confused. What was she hiding about my mother? Okay. I nodded and added that question to the list of questions I'd compiled over the years about my family. Would it be all right if I kept this book? I'm sorry, dear, but it has to remain here, she told me, crushing my hopes. But I will have someone make a copy of his picture and frame it for you. It will be my welcome to family gift. Thank you. I smiled and looked back at the young women. What had happened to her? Why was she attacked? Who was my father? Where was he now? After a few minutes, the queen cleared her throat. It getting late, and I'm sure the boys are eager to see you. Oh, right. I began to panic now. They'd want mate. Do you think the twins will mind if we slept separately tonight? I know Lycan's mate straight away, but You what? I blushed. This was not a conversation I wanted to have with my future mother-in-law. I've never been with a man before. Never, the queen said in disbelief. Well, that's a first, She cleared her throat. That is something best discussed with the boys. What? I gasped. I can't tell them that. We just met. And dash. Madelyn, dear, take a breathe. The queen ordered gently as she held my shoulders. You have no choice but to speak with them. Alphas can be quite, overexcited when mating. They will need to know beforehand that it's your first time, and especially with having two mates. I do not envy that. I have my work cut out with just Theo. I cannot imagine what you have in store. You're not exactly helping to ease my mind, Your Majesty. Queen Kara laughed and linked her hand in mine. You will be all right, she told me as she led me from the library. The boys will take care of you, and soon enough I will have my grandbabies. Grandbabies? I gasped and looked over at her, and she had to be kidding me. The boys will need an heir one day, dear. She reminded me, but just put it out of your mind for now and just focus on this evening. The marking is most important now. Right. I gulped. I was so not ready for any of this. Let's get your things from that disgusting alpha of yours, and we will return to the boys. She told me, it will give you time to think things over a little more. Thank you. I smiled at her as we climbed back into the car. Your Majesty. Yes. Why are you being so nice to me? You don't even know me. You're my daughter now, she said and gently touched my cheek. It's my duty to take care of you, and speaking of duties, I will need to introduce you to the Queen's mother sometime this week. I will send her a letter formally inviting her to tea, so you can meet. The Queen Mother? I said nervously. I'd heard terrifying rumors about her my whole life. Yes, Queen Kara nodded, and she is very old and very strict, so you will need to learn proper education before speaking with her, but I will teach you. One false move, and she'll have you punished. I got a few good slaps from her before I became queen and outranked her, but you, I'm afraid, won't outrank her until you and the boys are crowned, so be very careful with how you speak to her. Great, because I wasn't nervous enough just getting to know the twins. Queen Kara laughed again and patted my arm. You will do well, my dear. She loved your mother dearly. Hopefully, that will spare you any real punishments. Fingers crossed, then.